Okay, I'm doing a recording on my computer now.
Okay. Okay, so we start over here, right?
Mm. Okay, yes, correct. This is where we stop on the mixed expression, right? Okay, so let me take a look. Okay, so when it comes to your expression, okay, there's this thing called evaluation rules. Okay, so basically, if operators, right, operators in this case is your plus minus times divide. Okay, has the same type. Operator in this case is your numbers. Numbers, right? Okay, if they have the same type of operands, right? Okay, or the operators has both type of operand. Let me see. Integer to change to floating point and so. Oh yeah, okay. How do I explain? Okay. Okay, you still remember this case whereby you have a number, then you went on to divide by another number, then but it turns out to be 0 instead of 0 point something. One of the question, remember? Like let's say for example, right? I give you an example. Let's say if we have this example, okay, we have let's say 8 divided by 3. Hello, can you hear me, right, Dylan?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So you have this thing called 8 divided by 3, right? Then 8 divided by 3 give you something like 2 point something.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, in real mathematics, it's around 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 2.4, is it? 2.6 or 2.4? Okay, let's say for example 2 point something lah, right? 2 point x, okay. So but in actual fact, you only get 2. Remember?
Yeah, because you need to round down.
Correct. Okay. It's because yes, you will round down because you are using an integer divided by integer. So this is what this rule is actually talking about. Okay, so you either have to change to a floating point number before you can do any calculation. If not, okay, it remains as an integer, right? You will end up getting an integer result. 会不会很清?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you kind of understand that. Okay, so good. So that's basically what is this few statements talking about. Okay, so you have to either change it to a floating point number, which is a point something number. Okay, so that when you have let's say 8.0 divided by 3, right? This one maybe will give you 2.337. Let's say for example, right? 2.334 for example. Let's say okay, just an example. I don't have a calculator with me right now, so I can't calculate and show you the real result. But what I need to tell you is, okay, one of the numbers here has got to be a floating point number so that the result will be a floating point result. Okay, so this is what this statement is talking about. Okay, Ken?
Yeah, Ken.
All right, so let's move on. Okay, so that's why we came into this topic called typecasting, or what we know as type conversion. Okay, so there will be circumstances whereby you need to do conversion, okay, from one data type to another data type. Okay, later on we will go very in depth into this. Okay, so so as of now you may ignore first. Okay, so okay, so what we're going to do today, okay, before I go into strings or before I go into type conversion, right, which is here, okay, what we're going to do today is, okay, I'm going to, how do I swap to the other one? It's Apple Dash, right?
Control arrow.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do today is, okay, we're going to practice some expression here, okay? So what have we learned earlier? We have learned how to create a variable, right? Okay, creating a variable, right? Okay, this is something to do with your Python, right? So so we have learned to create different type of variable. Okay, for creating variables in Python, okay, we usually you just create a equals to 5, right? Like
Yeah.
this, okay. You don't need any semicolon, you don't need anything, okay. But in C++, right? Okay, the differences between C++ and Python is basically you have to put in a data type in front. So let's say in this case, let's say if it's a float, right? I have to put a float. If it's an integer, I have to put an integer.
Oh, okay.
And end with a semicolon here. Okay, so this is a typical example of creating a variable. Okay, how about float? Float is the same also. Okay, so float b, right, is equal to 6.8, for example. Okay?
Yeah, I forgot what the integer types is. Float and what else?
Float, integer, boolean, string, characters, and so on and so forth. Okay?
Wait, Boolean is like how? Is it like this?
No, boolean is not like this. Okay, so boolean is basically you have to create like this, bool, right? Bool. Okay, bool c is equals to true.
Okay.
Okay, or false. Okay, there's only two values in within boolean. Okay, so okay, for this one we'll just comment on first. Okay, right now we are not going into the details of how do we create different types of variables. Okay, but what I need to show you is how we use expression within C++ in the real coding, because right now I need to show you how the real coding actually works. Okay, so in expression, right? So let's say in this case we have A, we have B, right? We want to create, let's say, a float of D, for example. Okay, it is actually equals to A plus B, for example. Okay, so the D is the result of A plus B, which is 5 plus 6.8, right? So 5 plus 6.8 gives you 11.8. Okay, so you got a D here, you're gonna display it. Okay, so to display, right? Okay, it looks like this. Let's say I'll just put like this, for example. Okay, so when you run, right? Okay, I'll just hit the run button. Okay, this is what you will see.
Is there a shortcut for?
Sorry.
Is there a shortcut for the run?
Oh, for the run, is it? Yeah. But I think. Hold on a second. The run button. Maybe when you mouse over, they will show you, is it? I remember it should be. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, because you didn't use namespace, that's why. Okay, so yeah, this is how it looks like.
Wait, so what is this?
Okay, 11.8 which is the value. Okay, but you're asking how do I run, right? Okay, so when you run this one, function R. Okay, function R is the shortcut key. Okay. Okay, so this is okay, let me explain the code again. So basically this is the part whereby we create the variable. This is the part whereby we do the calculation, and this is the part whereby we display the result.
Okay, is it a must to have this last line?
What have this? Oh, you mean the return 0? Yes, you just leave it in, leave it inside for this one.
But why?
Okay, because your main method is a method that returns 0. I mean, it's a method that returns an integer. Okay, so this one you just leave it. You can return 1, you can return 2, you can return 100 also can. It doesn't really matter.
Can I return like a string?
Cannot, because this is a integer function. Your main method is an integer function, so it has to return a number. Okay, you can return 100 also can. Okay, so yeah, this is one good example. Okay, so now it's your turn to work it out. Okay, I'll give you a question on the spot that I need you to try out. All right, so this one we'll leave it. Maybe could you create a new C++ file or something like that? Okay, sorry, you can create. Just right click, I think go to new file, then then create a new C++ file. C++ file, the right one, yeah. Okay, then give it a name. No need to create a header, just uncheck the header file. Then you just give it a name. You can call it practice2 or something like that. Practice _2. Cancel _2 or practice 2也是可以。Okay, then just create create within Dylan yeah. Great. Okay, so what I need you to do is I need you to copy the main method over, which is this part, right? So just copy. Okay, then just paste it in. Okay, then so what I need you to do is what I need you to do is cout namespace. Okay, yeah, from here to here. Okay, I will give you the question here. So I need you to basically code it out. Okay. Here you can use this thing called using namespace. Okay, std. Right. Okay. So here then you can try to code it out. Okay. So my question to you is there is a square. Okay. There's a square of there's a square of width okay with okay, which is 6 cm, right? Okay, I need you to find out what is the, I need you to calculate the, hey, wait, relax. Wait, I haven't give you the question. Okay, so I need you to find out the area, okay, as well as the perimeter, and then display both area and perimeter, can?
Okay.
Okay, perimeter. All right, okay, go ahead, cut it out. You can use float, you can use integer, whichever, 都可以.
Wait, cannot. I just do A. Is it okay if I were to put like length like this?
Can, why cannot? You can create any variable, ma. It's really up to you. Remember your semicolon on every end of the line.
What?
End of the statement, yeah.
Can I refer to this?
Sure, you can. Just copy paste some of the things to display it.
Okay, what is this?
Okay. Okay, unlike Python, right? Yeah, you got it mostly correct. Okay, but unlike Python, you can also use times. Okay, they don't know that times is to the power of 2. All right, so what you need to do is you have to use this. Okay, this is what you can do.
Wait, so what is to the power of? It's like
For to the power of 2, right? Okay, you usually we use this Okay, so I also never use to the power of in C++. Maybe let me check it out first. Can you fix the other one, which is your parameter, right? Can you fix our parameter?
wait, what am I doing?
Okay. So if you want to use to the power of, right? Okay. You can do something like this. Maybe I show you. Hold on a second. This one we fix later. No worries. Okay. If you really want to use okay, but I don't recommend now because you haven't go into this chapter called the math library. Okay. You have got to use the math library from the C++, which is this one. You have to include it in. And then after you include it in, then you can use the power. Okay, the power to the power of power function. Okay, so you can use this. Okay, followed by comma to the power of 2, you can do this. Okay, then you can use this function. If not, you cannot. Can?
You can.
Then, okay, can you try to fix this one? I think, okay, because we included namespace, so you just do a cout will do. No need to include the namespace again in front. Okay, because I fixed this part. You just do this will do. Can? Okay, do the same for the other one. Yep. Okay, you try run. Undeclared identifier cout. Okay. Using namespace. Hold on a second. Using namespace std ma. Std is here. So IO stream. Oh, include IO stream. You need to include IO stream. Remember? The one that we did here.
What is it for? But why you need to?
This one. Okay, if you don't include IO stream, you can't use cout, cin. Okay, you need cout, cin for your input output. So that's why.
Okay.
Does it work? Build fail. What happened? There's an error here.
No.
Build time. Wait, go back to our file first. Build fail. How come? Okay, never mind. Then I tell you what. It could be because it could be because of this. You can only have one main method, if I'm not wrong, within your program. You can only have one main method within your program. Okay, so so if you I mean this program, right, Dylan program, right, you can only have one main method. Okay, your main method, you can only refer to one main method. So in this case, the main method is here. So you can only have one main method. Okay, so later on, if you need to make any changes, okay, I would suggest we will comment off, then we recode a new one. Okay, or we can create a new file, then we just comment off the entire main method here, create a new main method inside a new CPP file.
Okay.
Okay, I think you did quite well. Okay, a few things that you just need to take note. Number one, okay, it's something new to you lah. Okay, the semicolon and the integer. I mean the declaration of data type. Okay, which is here. The declaration of data type as well as the semicolon is something new to you. Then other than that, to the power of, okay, maybe this is something new to you also. Okay, hopefully you kind of understand. Then to print, right, okay, in Python is print. For your case here, we are using this thing called cout, okay, and an end line behind it. Okay, and we have to remember to import this IO stream. Okay, so you can see that unlike Python, okay, C++ is more complex, right? 对吗? Dylan. Okay, so but it's okay. You are learning a very not considered very old language, but still it's not as new as Python. Yeah, but it's a good learning experience for you also. Okay, so let's go back to the chapter, shall we? Okay, so can you show me the slides? Can you go back to the slides? Help me, yeah, 3 fingers to your right or somewhere. Yeah, okay. So, okay, so we have this kind of circumstances whereby we need to do casting, right? So just now I told you before, we have situation whereby we need to do a casting. Okay, casting is basically a type conversion. a type of conversion of from what? From a float to an integer. Can you see here? Okay, static cast, then you do a 7.9, you are actually casting it into a 7 here. Okay, another one, static cast, okay, diamond bracket integer, 3.3, we are casting it to a 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is just one typical example of how we do typecasting. Can? Okay, so let me show you how is it done. Could you help me do a, let me try if I can swift around. Cannot, okay. Oh, I just did it. Okay, can. So I can swift around, so no issue. Okay. So okay, let me show you how is it done, okay, for typecasting. Okay, so just now you see the first one, right? They already show you. So static underscore cast, right? Okay, we can practice it here. Okay, we can do a static underscore cast, right? Can you see here? We just need to put in the type. So in this case, I'm going to cast the following expression, which is 7.7, okay, 6.7 into an integer. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it here. Okay. So this is how it looks like. So that means what I'm trying to do here is I'm actually turning this 6.7 into my length. Okay, but it will give me the same result because 6.7 you do a casting, right, to an integer, right? It basically rounds down also, so it becomes 6. So your length here is 6. Okay, it's the same as per what you just now said. Okay, basically it will give you the value of 6, okay, which is stored inside length, and then we do a length to the power of 2 and length times 4. Okay, so 6 times 4 and 6 times 6 36 and 24. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. Okay. Okay. Going back to your slides. Okay, any questions before we move on?
So for C++, right, you must import the file in order to do to the power of something.
Yes, correct. Okay, this to the power of function is reliance on this dependency. I mean, which is it is dependent on this library basically. This math.h library. Yeah, you can write it down. Okay, because this is something that is new to you. Okay, unlike Python, you don't have to import this, import that, no need. Okay, you don't have to import so many libraries, but for C++ you need. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. All right. Okay, the next type is my favorite type. I believe it's also your favorite type also. Okay, which is called a string. Okay, the string basically takes care of your in C++, the string, right, is a library that takes care of your sentences. Okay, because it's in C++, I mean, in Python, you also have the string type, but you don't need to declare it. Okay, unlike C++, you have to declare as a string. Then you can use it as a string or as a sentence or as an alphabet, basically. Okay, so a string is basically made up of more than 0 or more than 1 characters, 0 or more characters. So as you know, characters, right? Let me go back. Okay, so as you know, characters, how do we create a character? So this is how we create a character, right? Okay, we do a char, right? A char C lah, okay, is equals to, let's say, a single character. It can be a T, for example. Okay, it can be any characters. Okay, so this is a single character, but for string, right? Okay, the power of string is a string, let's say string S is equals to, let's say, for example, I am happy, for example. Okay. Okay, the string that we created here, okay. 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 The string that we created here, right? Okay, is a sentences. Okay, it's made up of multiple characters, right? You can see this is one character. A space is also considered a character. Okay, then and so on and so forth. So altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 characters altogether. Okay, just like that, there's 10 characters inside.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the beauty of a string itself. So far so good? Okay, a string with no characters, we call it a null string. Can remember this term? It's called null string. No means nothing inside. Okay, so each character has a relative position in the string and the first character is 0. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, what I'm telling you is, okay, a string is basically an array of characters, okay, array of character, right? Okay, I will later on go into this chapter called array, okay. Just to let you know that it is an array of character, means it's a set of characters, okay, it's formed up by a set of characters. And the first character, which in this case, the I, right, okay, has an index of 0. So just to put it down that I has an index of 0, okay. Then how about the space is 1, okay. The A is 2, M is 3, and so on and so forth. So my question to you is, what is the index of Y?
Huh?
Okay, if I is 0, okay,
Index 7.
index is 7. Actually, let's count together. 0, 1.
Oh wait,
2,
the space also.
3,
Oh, okay.
4. You have to include a space. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So just now I told you it's 10 characters, ma. So if it's the length is 10, okay, the last index will be 9, lor. Okay, I has an index of 9 of 0. Y has an index of
Index of 9.
index of 9. Can? All right. So that's basically how we deal with string itself. Can? So far so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
Then
So
return string.
sorry. Question.
How do I like what's it called? Like print it out over here?
Okay. Good question. Okay. So what we're going to do is I don't want to make it too complex. Okay. So what I need you to do is can you do me a favor? Just create a new file, right? Then just call it string practice. Can? Okay. So just a new file, C++ file. Then string underscore practice lah. Underscore.
Wait.
String underscore practice. Yeah. Okay, finished. Yep. Okay, do me a favor. Copy paste the main method over. Yeah, everything.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing lah, inclusive of the correct. Okay, good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Right, let's move on.
Is it like that?
Slash star star slash. Slash star.
Slash.
Star. Then 下去到完. Okay, star slash. Okay, very good. Okay, that's multi comment, multi-line comment. Okay, good. So let's come into here. Okay, so in this practice, we talk about the string itself, right? So I'll just delete away your parameters of this. Can? Okay, if you want to refer back to your parameters, go back to practice 2. Okay, so over here, you're asking me, hey, how do I display the S here? Or how do I display a C here? To display S, same thing, you just put S here, in between the C out. Okay, this, when you run, right, it basically displays out, I'm happy lah.
Okay.
Can you see? Okay, so whatever you change here, it will display as accordingly.
Then how to do like input?
Okay, that's the next portion of the of here. Okay, so yeah, we go into input. Okay, input but basically allows the user to type in something. It's just like how your Python works, right? For input also. Okay. Okay, you need to understand the process first. There's 2 parts to it. Number 1 is, okay, we instruct the computer to allocate some memory, okay, for the input. Then the second part is we include a statement to store the data, okay, into the memory. Wow, a bit cheap. Okay, I will explain how these 2 works. Okay, but you take a look at the code first. Okay, I believe you are quite eager to understand how actually the code works. Wait, the code is not here. Putting. Give me a while. There. Okay, this is how the code works. Okay, so we use this particular identifier called cin. Okay, we are using cin to actually read, and then we have to use the arrow here. Just now you remember cout is the other way. Okay, the bitwise operator is the other way, right? Okay, but for cin, right, the bitwise operator is pointing towards the variable itself. Okay, that's how we read the user's input. Okay, so I'm going to show you how does it work. Okay, so okay, so let's say for example we are talking about string, right? So Okay, so we display, we do a cin. Okay, we still do a cout first. Okay, cout. Okay, we prompt the user to please enter your name, right? Okay, we always like to do this. Okay, I'll just like this because I want the cursor to stay on the same line to prompt the user for an input. Then I can read the user's input. Okay, so when you try to do a cin, right? Okay, your arrow has to point towards a particular variable. Okay, this variable is your temporary storage, okay, of the value itself. Okay, then once you got the value, you just display the person's name. So you can add in something like this. Okay, cout, hello, comma, okay, the person's name. Okay, you can do something like this. All right, I'm going to show you how is it done. Okay, so I'm prompting the user for his name, right?
Okay.
Let's say I put in my name, right? So you can see here, cout, okay, I prompt the user for his name. So that's why the cursor remains here. I don't have an end line behind. Can you see? If I have an end line, my cursor will end up below here. But in the end, it stops here. Your cursor is here. Okay, then I have a cin here, which reads the user's input, which is Junwei, right? Junwei will be stored into S later on. Okay, temporarily stored into S. And then when I press enter, right? Okay, it basically tells me hello plus S. In this case, this is to append them. Okay, this is one string, append with another string. The other string with S, right, is my name, Junwei, whatever the user entered. Okay, so we actually put them together, okay, to form hello Junwei. Can? Is it very chim? You can understand, right? Okay, so this is how, yeah, this is how it actually works.
Will you ask me to go and like modify the area code for like the square, that one?
Yes. How come you know? Okay, yeah, correct. I want you to try it out. Okay, this part, right, maybe you can comment off first for the time being. Okay. Yeah. Now
do that.
You intend to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah, can. Okay, yeah, that's right. So now what I need you to do is I need you to prompt user for the length of the length of the the length of the square, and then based on that, okay, I need you to calculate and display the area as well as parameter. Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay, using inputs. Okay, try it out.
Wait, it's not. Wait, this one. Okay, there's a lot of this stuff here. Wait, how do I make this
How do you read the user's input, is it?
yeah, wait.
Okay.
How to store the user's input into a variable?
Okay, good question. Okay, so let's go back to just now that string practice, right?
Yeah.
See here? That's how I read the user's input. Of course, first of all, I have to create a variable first. Then I read the user's input this way.
Okay, so
you have to see in the user's input. So in this case, the user's input is an integer, right? I believe so.
yeah.
You are trying to read an integer. So no, you have to declare the integer above first. And set the value.
So do I do like int?
No, not here. Before this line 25. Do it on line 25.
Okay.
So integer, okay, number or length. No, int space num or length is equals to 0. Okay, set it with a value first.
Oh, then after that over here, I do like
okay, semicolon.
like this.
Correct. Okay, then you can go on and calculate. Your length is LENG now. Yeah, correct. Okay, I think it should work. Try out.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, well done. Very good. Okay, so this is how it works for your input lah.
And
Can
then how do I do like the length of the area of the square is then
okay, very good. Okay, so you wanted to make it more intuitive lah, right? So
yeah.
here lor, add it here.
Oh, okay.
Try.
Oh, okay. Didn't have to do it for here also.
Yes, correct. Very good. Very good. Well done. Okay, try.
Okay.
Okay, well done. Very good. Okay, good. So let's go into, I believe we have covered the most important thing of the entire chapter, which is your input, process, and output. Okay, so you have learned how to actually use an input. Okay, so I'll just talk about the ways to do it. Okay, number one is to assign. Okay, is to create a variable. Okay, and then you assign the statement to it. Number two is to read from the value. Okay, because you here just now whatever we did was here is what we know as assignment. Here is what we know as using the input from user. Okay, so there's two ways to put your values into the variable itself. Okay, then here's another example. Okay, you create this one. Okay, here's another example. You basically assign a value, okay, to the variable itself, or you pass the data, okay, via the Cin itself. This is another way. Okay, can. Okay, so if you take a look at here, variable, this is the one. Okay, we are actually assigning the value that the user entered into this variable called mouse, right? So let's say you prompt user for the number of kilometers they have traveled, then you just store the number of kilometers into mouse itself. This is another way. Can? Okay, so that's basically how we do it. Okay, if you have more than one variables, okay, in Cin, okay, that you want Cin to read, right? Okay, at one time, okay, you can do this.
Okay.
You can do this. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so in the event you need to read more than one values. Let's say, for example, okay, so let's say we reinvent this. Okay, instead of a square, right, we want to turn it to a rectangle. Okay, we can do so also. Okay, maybe I will just this part we'll just save it. We'll create a new one, shall we? Okay, so you just create a new file. Go to C++, next. Okay, we just create a new one. Okay, this one I'll just call input underscore practice now. Okay, input practice. Okay, we're just gonna save it here. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna copy this over. Actually, no, I copy everything. So inclusive of your header also. Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, I'm gonna replace this with this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so instead of so this part I'll just remove first. Okay, so instead of input user for the square, right, I do it for the rectangle here. Okay. Okay, so what would be the length, okay, and width, okay, of rectangle? You can do so like this. This is where you prompt. Okay, I'm going to get the integer of length and the integer of width. I'm going to get both. Okay, you can do something like this. Okay, you can do it for this. Yeah. Then of course the area will be what? Length times width, right?
Yeah.
Okay, length times width or length times breadth, doesn't matter. Okay, then here the parameters will be what? Your length times 2, okay, plus width times 2, right? Okay, so it should be something like this and display as accordingly. Okay, you can do so for the most important part is here. Okay, you are getting 2 inputs at the same time. Okay, let me show it to you. Yeah, apologies, this one we need to hide it. Okay, so we just hide it first. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so let's just run. There we go. Okay, so we need to put in 2 values. We need to put in 5 and 6. Okay, so you can see 5 times 6, right? 30, right? That's the area. Then the length will be 5 times 2, 10, right? 6 times 2, 12. Okay, so it gives you 22. Okay, I input 5 and 6. Can you see? What would you like the length and width of rectangle to be? So 5, I do a space followed by 6. Okay, the program will recognize that I'm actually inputting 2 values here and here. Can?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's basically how it works for reading 2 inputs. Okay, to read 2 inputs, that's how you do it. Okay, just separate them by a space will do when you are inputting. Can? Okay, so here's another example. Okay, they have feet, they have an inch, right? So enter 2 integers, separate by space, right? So you have a feet, you have an inch, we read it in, then we will display what is feet, what is inch. This is another example, 23 and 7, 23, 7. Sorry?
I wanted to close that thing. Like the thing which popped out in the side.
Oh, okay. I continue?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good. So yeah, that's another example. Then here's okay, there are 2 ways to initialize a variable. Okay, number 1 is you do an assignment like what I told you just now. Okay, you directly set the values into it. Okay, this is what we know as hard coding the value. Okay, the other one is to read from the user's input. Okay, so that users will enter what they need to enter. Okay, and we will store it into feed. That's how we do it. Okay, so the next thing you need to know is called increment and decrement operator. Okay, so how it actually works is an increment operator basically increase the variable value by 1. A decrement operator basically decrease the value by 1. Can understand? Okay, so let's say if I do a 5 right over here, okay, 5 is stored inside x, right? So we do a x plus plus or plus plus x. It basically increases the value itself. Okay, but when it comes to increment, there's this thing called post increment and pre-increment. Okay, later on I'll explain in more details how it actually works. Okay, so far you understand what does increment works, right? And decrement works, right? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, you kind of understand, so an increment variable basically increase the value by 1. Decrement variable decrease the value by 1.
Wait, okay. So wait, I don't understand like the bottom part.
Okay, why there's a plus plus in front and a plus plus behind?
Yes, post.
Okay. So pre-increment, okay, basically adds the value immediately into the variable. Post-increment only adds the value, okay, after that statement. Okay, what's the difference? Okay, let me show you. Okay, so the difference between this and this, okay, is let's say x is 5, right? Okay, if this one for y itself, right? Okay, let's take a look at y. Okay, for if it's a pre-increment, I will add 1 to x immediately. Okay, so that means, okay, one has an immediacy effect, the other one don't have. So that means 5 will become 6. So y will be 6 for this one. But if it's for this one, okay, how it works is for y itself, right? It does not have an immediacy effect. Okay, that means x in this case, right, 5 plus plus, right? Okay, it will not increase to 6 immediately. it will only increase x to 6 on the next line. So in this case, y is still 5. It is not 6. For this one, y is 6.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, let me show you that the coding. Okay, so let's go into the practice itself. Okay, let's create a new one this time around. Okay, then we'll just go to next. Right, we'll call it what? Increment underscore decrement underscore practice lah. Can?
Okay. We don't create the header
Oh
file.
yeah, crap. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna paste in the codes. Okay, just now I still have that code, all right? So I'll just take this portion, delete away. Okay, I'm gonna put in your that code that you have over here. Okay, so we have this part, right? Okay, we'll just copy it. Okay, come back to here, we're gonna paste it in, goes back again, we're gonna copy this. Oops.
Okay.
Okay, anything that you don't know when you are going through the slides, right? Over here, let's say for example.
Yeah.
Anything that you don't know, you feel free to run the codes inside here. Okay. Okay, I need to declare it here. Okay. So I'll do a cout first. X, right? Then, okay. I'm gonna display X. I'm gonna display Y itself. Okay. I will do the same for here also.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this is what we know as post increment, right? Then this is what we know as a pre-increment.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So how it works is look at the data carefully. X, right? Both X. Okay. Later on when you display both X will be 6. But for Y itself, for this Y, okay, this one X will be 6 here lah. Okay, both X will be 6. But for Y itself because it's a post increment, so it does not have an immediacy effect. So Y will be 5. For this Y, it will be 6. Okay.
Okay.
This Y will be 6. Okay, can? All right, so I will just do I will close this code here. Oops. Okay, and we are going to run here. Okay, so just run. Okay, there we go. Can you see? So 5, 6. It's a 6, 5, 6, 6.
Yeah.
Can digest? Okay, you take some time to digest first. Then you tell me what really happened. Can?
Okay.
Give you 5 minutes. You take some time to digest first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you explain to me. Come, try.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so over here,
Where? Okay.
hold on it. Over here, give out 5 first.
Okay.
And over here. Then y equals to x plus plus. So it should be plus like +1, right?
Correct.
So,
+1.
wait, but why is it 6, 5? And
yeah, why is it 6, 5? Okay, the gist is here. This one.
yeah.
Okay, this is what we know as a post increment, right? So a post increment will not take effect immediately. So in this case, right, your y will still be 5, even though we have a 5 plus plus here, which will eventually become 6.
Oh, okay.
But on the spot here, okay, when we are assigning the result of x plus plus into y, right?
Yeah.
Okay, x plus plus will still give you the result of 5 on this line number 19.
Oh, okay.
So x plus plus will still give you the result of 5 on this line 19. It's only when x plus it's only when we go to line 20, right? X becomes 6.
Okay.
Because it's a post increment. That means it doesn't take effect immediately. This one, what we know as doesn't take effect immediately. Can?
Can.
Okay, doesn't take effect immediately. But for pre-increment, right, it will take effect immediately. So in this case, right, on line 26, okay, x directly turn into 6 immediately. Because 5, even though x is equal to 5, then you do a plus 5. Plus 5, right, will turn into 6 immediately on this line. So
Okay.
in this case, when we store the result of plus 5, which is 6, into y, okay, y is 6. So in this case, here it is a 6.
So we should like avoid using post increment.
No lah, it depends. It depends.
And then what?
Okay.
But what situations then we can use post increment?
There's a lot of situation whereby you use a for loop. Okay, we are still using a post increment, even though we can use a pre increment also can.
Okay.
It doesn't really matters. Okay, but it depends. It really depends on situation. I don't have a good example when to use a post increment or when to use a pre increment. But to me, they are increment. Okay, so far I only use them for increment purposes. Whether to use post or whether to use pre, most of the time I'm using post, and I don't have any issues with it. But what you need to know is, post increment will not give you the immediacy effect, which is it will not take effect immediately. It's only when it goes to the next line, then it will take effect. If you are okay to you are okay with these characteristics, then you can continue to use post increment. For me, I'm comfortable with this situation. So I have been using post increment for a very, 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 very long time. Yeah, and I have no issue with that.
Yeah, okay, teacher. When y when what's it called? Like you add 1 to x, right?
Yeah.
Then this one will automatically be 6, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
That's why when we display x, you can see both x value here and here, right? When we display x, they are all 6. It doesn't matter. No matter what, it will always be 6. It's only the y that has a different result because of the characteristics of a post increment or a pre increment. That's why here is 5, here is 6. It doesn't take effect immediately on this line, right? That's why when you display, right, this one was 5. Ken, is it a bit chim to you?
Not really, but
Not
yeah.
really. Okay. So later on, I'll give you some practice on post and pre increment so that it's a good practice for you. Actually, the questions that I sent to you before, maybe you can take a look at the WhatsApp question that I sent to you before. You try to open up your WhatsApp. I'll show it to you again.
Wait, I don't have WhatsApp on the computer.
Oh, you don't have WhatsApp on your computer? Okay, can, no worries. Later on, I'll show it to you again. Okay, maybe I'll let you do for homework.
It through my phone.
Can, I'll send it to your phone later on. Then you just tell me the result okay, how it actually does.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, like result 3 equals to plus XX.
We have something like that. Yes, correct. Okay, plus XX. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into the next portion of the code. Okay, so this is I've covered what is a increment. So decrement is the other side which is opposite Basically, you're decrementing by 1. Post and pre, it works the same also. Okay, Ken. All right, to output, okay, because any kind of programmer, because we have reached output, so I have to talk about this. Okay, any kind of programs, right, be it Facebook, Instagram, or any kind of program like your Spotify, for example. Okay, any kind of programs, they have this process called input, process, output. Okay, let me explain again. Okay, maybe we go to can you open up your browser? Yep. How will you open up your browser? Yeah, just help me Okay, launch a new browser. Okay, I need to show you this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, any kind of programmer will definitely have these three things. This one. Okay, input, process, output. Okay, any kind of program will definitely have these three things. Facebook also have. Okay, when you upload a photo, that's your input, right? As a user, you upload a photo of your family on a holiday trip, let's say for example. Facebook picks up the photo, store it into their server. Okay, that's the process. When Facebook output, okay, basically displays onto your profile, okay, the photos that you just uploaded. Okay, that's what we know as output, right? Yeah, so that's input, process, output. How about Instagram? Okay, when you upload a photo, right, into Instagram, right, from your phone, then you need to select the different type of filter for your photo, right? Okay, that's the process. When you try to post it, okay, you write some captions whatsoever, you try to post your photo, okay, onto your Instagram account, okay, that's your output, no? So any kind of program, right, will definitely have input, process, output. Right now, the program that you're developing also has input, process, output, like a rectangle, right? The rectangle, you prompt user for the width, you prompt user for the length, right? The process, okay, is to calculate what the parameter as well as the area. Okay, the output is to display the parameter as well as the area. Can? Okay, so any kind of program definitely have input, process, output, and you have to think it this way. Okay, you have to think from input to process to output. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, okay, it never runs away from this. Okay, even Facebook lah, even Instagram lah, even your Spotify. Spotify, let's come back again. Okay, Spotify is when you input, right? Is where they display to you lah a list of songs to select, right? Then you select the one that you want to listen to. Okay, on the process in their backend, what they do is they retrieve the music for you from their database or their server lah. They stream the music to you, and when you are listening to the music, that's your output. Okay, can? So that's basically how input, process, output works. Okay, so in C++, your output is basically using cout. Okay, cout with this bitwise operator. Okay, it will basically help you display the expression as accordingly, which is here expression is to display out the statements. Can? Okay, so you have already used it. So here are some of the example. You can see here 29 divided by 4, which will give you a value of 7 point something, which ends up to be 7. Then hello there, it will display as hello there. 12, it will display as 12. You double quotation, right? 4 plus 7, which is a string, it will display as 4 plus 7. Okay, 4 plus 7 here will give you 11. A, you will display as A, 4 plus 7 equals, then 4 plus 7. This one will be 4 plus 7 with an equal 11. Then here's another example. Okay, hello there, right? Another example here. Then 3 times 5, 15 plus 2, 17. So you display 17 here. Can? Okay, so this is a good example of how output actually works. Then with n-line, right, it basically brings your cursor, after you display, right, it brings your cursor down to the next line. Okay, that's how n-line works. Can? Okay, I believe you have already done so. So it's quite straightforward lah. Okay, here's another example. Okay, if you want to break it to a new line, you have to use a /n. Okay, this is how you use it within your cout. Okay, you can use a /n to break it to the new line. All right, or if not, you can use an n line, also can. Okay, /n basically brings you down to the next line. You can also do other things like, for example, tab. Okay, for example, return /return single quote, double quote. Okay, I'll show you some of the example here. Okay, so let's go into the practice. So right click, new file. Okay, C++ file. Remove the header. We'll try this thing called output practice.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so when it comes to output practice, okay, that I'm going to show you now. Okay, it has something to do with how you display your output. Okay, different ways of displaying your output. So I'll just comment off this one.
Okay.
We'll focus on working on here. Okay, so we got two header file, the same. So, okay, here we go. Okay, so this is your output, right? Okay, this is your output. Okay, so when you use a slash tab, right? Okay. Okay, both we display hello there, right? Okay, if I do a slash T, right? Okay, it basically taps me. This is how you tap, okay? You tap, right? It taps you to the right side. Okay, here's the difference between them. Okay, so when I run both, okay, this is how it looks like. Right, the first hello there, right, will be tapped. The second hello there will not be tapped. How come it's not displaying? Are there? Can you see here? There's a tab here. Okay, when I use a slash T, can you see?
Oh, okay. Then how make it like one line?
Okay, one line, right? Okay, so let's say, for example, I don't use N9 lah.
This slash T, I don't know.
Okay. You say you want both to be on the same line, right?
Mm.
You can do this. This will end up both on the same line, you see? Because there's no N line. I didn't put N line here. By right, I should put N line. So they are both on the same line.
Is there a way to make an infinite loop?
An infinite loop. Okay, we'll go into loops on the next lesson. But I can still show you how does it work for infinite loop. Okay. Okay, for Python, C++, you will go into that. Okay, but just a quick recap how different it is in C++. Okay, since you want to see how infinite loop works. Okay, you just do a while loop, put in a true, and then open and close here. Okay, this will goes into an infinite loop. Can you see? I'm in the infinite loop here. Okay. Can you see? Your cursor is running because why? There's too many of them. Okay, of course we can be aware. Okay. Maybe we hit the stop button. Okay, so this is the infinite loop, but we'll get to that. Don't worry about that. Okay. What's important right now is to understand how the different output works. Okay, because my job is to make sure the contents are all delivered to you. Okay, so that you know every of them. Of course, the fancy stuff will come in. Don't worry. Okay, like okay, so you need to know quite a few things also. Like, how do you put in a single quotation into here? So let's say, for example, right, hello there. Right, I wanted to have a single quote here slash double quote here. Yeah, I wanted to have something like that. Okay. Let me run and show you. Okay, you can have it here. Really? Hello there, right? You add in a double quotation. Okay, this is an example of how you add in the double quotation into a string for display purposes. Can you see?
I can see.
Yep. All right. So that's how output works. Okay, there's other things that you can try out lah. Okay, if you have the time. Okay, feel free to go and try out. Okay, so let me see how many slides are. Okay, we are halfway there already. Okay, let me see if I want to cover this, which is your preprocessor directives. I don't think you will be using lah. Okay. Header file. Oh, okay. So okay, preprocessor directive. I'll just go through a bit. Okay, so you can see here, right? All this. Okay, it has a term for it. Okay, we call it the preprocessor directive. Okay, all these three items over here. Okay, we call it the preprocessor directive. It's basically a library. Okay, we use in C++, or what we know as set of libraries, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that we use in C++. You can see there's this thing called stdio.h, right? Can you see here? Okay. right now you don't have this header file, because just now when we create a C++ file, right, we did not include any header, remember? Okay, so this one, even if you don't include, it's also fine. The program still can run, okay, without any issue. Can you see? You can still run without any issue. Okay, so this is not compulsory to have. Then these two items, okay, are basically libraries from where? From your C++ itself. So if you don't include them, you can't use certain functions. Okay, so I think this one you no need to use it. Okay, because this one currently I'm not using any power to the power of, remember? Okay, so you don't have to use it. But IOStream you have to use it because you're using cout here. Okay, so just to sum up, this is what we know as a preprocessor directive. Okay, Ken. So I won't go into very detail because I don't want to bore you with it also. But what I still have to cover just to make sure that you know what is going on.
Okay.
Okay, there's two things that you need to know. These two. Okay, so one is your IOStream library. Okay, because if you don't include IOStream library, you can't use cin and cout, which is very important. Okay, you need cin and cout for what purpose? You need it to display output or take in any inputs from the user. Then for using namespace std, this is required also. Okay, if you don't use it, you will end up like this. You have to do it this way, which is even longer. So if you don't include namespace std, okay, here you will have to include std : very mafan. Okay, so I don't suggest that. So I will always ask you to include this. Okay, when you're coding, so just include these two together. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so this part I've covered. Okay, yeah. Okay, you can also include string. For info, you can also include string. Okay, when you include string, you can use their methods. Okay, the string methods. Okay, later on we'll cover also. As of now, we don't have. Okay, so here's another example. Okay, because just now I skipped something called constant. Okay, I also need to cover this thing called constant first. Okay, when you are coding your program, right, Dylan? Hello, you can hear me, right? Okay, when you're coding your programs, any kind of programs, right, there will be circumstances whereby you need to create this thing called constants. Okay, because in any programs, okay, there are some values that doesn't change one. Okay, I give you an example. Let's say, for example, what kind of value doesn't change? Okay, let's say we talk about number of days in a week. Does it change?
No.
No, right? There's only Monday to what? Sunday, right? Okay, so this is a good example of a constant. Okay, a constant basically doesn't change anything. So you have to create constant. Okay, if let's say you're coding a calendar, okay, integer, okay, number, okay, of days in week. Okay, usually we'll put it to 7, right? Yeah, that's usually how it works to create a constant. Okay, so this is an example of a constant. Okay, and how we actually name constant is that, okay, all constants are capital letter.
But how come it must be behind the main?
Behind which one? Behind here, is it? Or I mean before the main . Yes. Yeah. Okay. Usually when we create a constant, right, we create it with the libraries. Okay, we don't create it inside the main method. We seldom create it within the main method because we want it to be global. Okay, global. Global means that it can be used by anyone, okay, in this entire program. I mean any parts of because usually your C++ programmer is not just one method, you later on we will learn how to create multiple methods within here. Then some of the methods within the entire program, okay, might need to use this field. So we will set it as global.
Okay.
Good question. Yeah, correct. Okay, so constants usually will set it as global. So when we want it to be global, it has to be outside the main method. So we won't declare it within here. Of course, we can declare it within here, but that will limit the scope. That means your number of days in a week, right, can only be used within main method. That's not what we want. Okay, we want it to be global. Can?
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, here's an example, okay, of a program. Okay, basically this program what it does is it creates two numbers, first number and second number. Then we set first number to be 18. Okay, and and then we display out the first number, which is line 9. Okay, the first number, the value is 18. Then line 10, okay, enter an integer. Basically, we prompt the user to enter an integer, and then we store the integer value into second num. Okay, then we display that, okay, line 13, okay, second num, the value is, let's say the user entered, let's say 50, for example, we will display out 50. Okay, then then first num is equals to first num plus number plus 2 times the second number. Wow, 很轻哦. Okay, so as you know, first number, the value is what? 18, right? Which is here.
Yeah.
Okay, 18 plus number. Number is what value? 12, right? So 18 plus 12 gives you 30, right? Then 30 plus what? 2 times second number. Let's say 50 lah. Okay, 50 times 2 is 100, right?
Yeah.
100 plus 30 will give me 130. So my first number now will be replaced from 18, right? Becomes 130. So now the new value would be 180. Okay, the new value of first num will be 180 because the user enter 50 here. So you multiply, 加减乘除, okay, you will get 130.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm wondering if I can copy this or not. Oh, it's an image, so you can copy. Okay, you can code it out lah, right? And have a look. But I'll skip this one first because quite easy to understand. Okay, your homework maybe you can there, this one 15, right? Enter 15. So in this case it will be 60 because 18 plus 12, 30, right? 32 times 15 is 30, right? 30 plus 30 give you 60. That's how we got 60.
Okay.
Okay, you can try out this program on your own and type it out. Feel free to type it out and test it out. Okay. Okay, so I think I've covered almost everything. Okay, okay, another thing that is what we know as the common syntax error that happens, okay, when you are doing your coding. Okay, so we have covered input, process, output. Okay, there are times whereby we miss out this thing called the semicolon, right? Okay, so this is an example of a compilation error, okay, or a syntax error whereby you miss out a semicolon. Okay, so just remember to put in your syntax error, put in your semicolon to prevent any syntax error. Then we use blank. Blank means no value, or blank means spaces. Okay, to separate when you can use one or more blank to separate numbers when input. Oh, okay, two separate numbers. Okay, this one I think we've gone through before. Use separate reserve keywords and identify from each other and from other symbols. Okay.
Okay.
Example of here within a reserve keyword or identifier. Okay, I think this one nothing much lah. Okay, so I will skip for a while first. Semicolon, brackets, comma. This one have to include semantics. I think all this I taught you already. Naming identifiers is the same. Okay. When it comes to naming identifier, right? Okay, your constant it can be named this way. Okay, it doesn't have to all join together like mine. Okay, you can separate them with underscore also. They are asking you to try not to have both like this together. You can either put it as a camel casing like this, or with underscore. Okay, when you are naming your identifiers. Can?
Okay, understood.
And understood. Okay, so documentation. Okay, another thing that I need to emphasize is your documentation. Okay, so let's say this program is very small, okay, but imagine if you write 1,000 lines of codes, right? Okay, it is good practice to include when you're coding, especially when you're coding the algorithm, right? It's good practice to actually write out the comment first. Let's say, for example, I need to calculate the width, the height. Just now, this question, I included a lot of. Can you see? I included a lot of comments here.
Okay.
Okay, this will help you a lot. Okay, in documenting your program also. Okay, so this one I have to teach you also, just to make sure. Assignment statement. Okay, let's do a practice today. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. Okay, assignment statement. Okay, this is how it works. So let's say if I have a value like integer a is equals to 6. Okay, I want to add 5 to a itself. So what should I do? Okay, I can do this. A plus equal 5.
Okay.
Have you learned this before? Then I'll display A. So in this case, my A will be what? 11. Lor. Have you done this before?
I
That's
don't
how
have.
I get.
Python have or don't have? I don't think have, right?
Python don't have this.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we know as assignment operator. Okay, so how it actually works is, okay, this itself, okay, let me simplify it for you. This itself is basically A is equals to A plus 5. Okay, just that we shortcut it to this way. Okay, this is basically this. This part you can understand, right? A is what? A is 6, right? 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 store into A. Lor.
Okay.
Got it? Okay, you can actually express it this way. A plus equal 5. This is a shortcut. So if you see this, don't panic. Okay, it's basically this. Can? Okay, let's try one more. Okay, integer b is equals to 9, right? Okay, b times equal a. Okay, tell me what's the answer. What is this? B times equal a means what? B is equals to?
B equals to A1? No.
No. B times equal a. What's B times equal a?
A over here is 11, right? So 9.
B is equals to 9.
99. 9 times 11 because
9 times 11. Correct. Okay, which is what? B is equals to
99.
B times A, right? Okay, which in this case is what? B
9.
is equals to
99.
9 times 11. Lor. Can?
Mm.
Okay. Actually, I just need you to answer me this will do. Okay, but yeah, correct. The answer is 99. Very good. Okay, so if I display B, this is how it looks like. Okay, so you kind of understand how assignment operator works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well done. Okay, so I'll give you a homework on assignment operator also. Modulus equal, divide equal, times equal, minus equal, plus equal. This is how they actually works. Can? Okay, so yep. So convert length, this one I taught you already. So I think we'll skip this. Let me see anything else I missed out. Okay, this is how you create variables. This is how you create constant. Okay. Okay, yeah. Here's an algorithm. You prompt user for your input. You get the data. You echo. Echo means you display it. Okay. Oh, sorry. You pass it to the input. Echo the input, right? Output the input. Yeah. You display the input. Then you find the length. Do a conversion. Then display again. This is some algorithm how it actually works. Okay. So usually I will type it out over here in comments. Okay, just for good practice. You see? Yeah. Okay. So I urge you to do the same. Okay, this way is much easier. Okay, you don't need to do too much of the documentation. Okay, basically you're coding and documenting at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's very useful this way. All right, I think that's basically all. The next lesson we will go into we'll go into the more of the we'll go into the next chapter, which is chapter number 3. Okay, I think we'll stop here for today. Any questions? I will give you your homework so you can try it out on your own. Okay, before we meet on next Sunday, 对吗? No, sorry, next Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because we are seeing each other once a week. So okay, so we have completed chapter 2. So you have also mastered how input process output works. So my question would be very similar to string. Okay, something that you have learned in string. It will be very similar to what I gave, the questions that I gave you last week. Okay. it will also be very close to, I'll give you some input process output question like this also for you to try it out. Yep. Okay, that's all for today. Any questions before I end the class?
No questions.
Okay, good, good. Are you enjoying the lesson so far? Just to
Yeah.
gather some feedback. Is it better than you try to master on your own, or
Yeah, much better.
it's much better, right? Okay, good, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Okay, if you wanna, I mean, during this entire week, right, you can revisit what you have learned in the EduX, and then see if now whatever the educator is trying to educate you, right, you understand or not. Hello, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, this way is like, it's like a reflection. Whatever you learn on my lesson, okay, you try to relate back to what he's saying in EduX. Maybe because now I have accelerate your learning curve. So I believe what EduX is trying to share with you, you might grasp a bit more than previously. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can feel free to go and try out also.
Now you're talking about, I mean, like module 2 is complex data types. They have a peer review part of like the module where I put in a code.
Okay,
Wait, what? Let me load.
sure. Okay, I will stop the recording first.
Okay.
Mm.